From the heart of Appalachia, located under a shopping mall near the city that moves mountains, you're listening to Here To Chew Bubblegum with Goose and DirtyDan.
The opening music this week is from Midlife Crisis with Prepare Your Heart, and you can find that album available now on iTunes. Hello everyone, I'm Goose, and welcome to Here To Chew Bubblegum. On the show this week, we're going to feature some of my favorite moments on the show. Let's travel back to November 29th, 2020, and Cronkite's first in-studio visit, which turned into a co-hosting gig. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Goose, and with me is Cronkite.
Hello, Goose. How are you today?
I am good, buddy. I am good. We are back in Bunker Studios. I'm excited to be here. It's been a long time since I've actually recorded at Bunker Studios, and this is one of my favorite places to record. What do you think about it?
It's exciting. I'm glad to actually get to do a show with you. It's going to be pumping.
I have looked forward to this. I've actually wanted to do shows like this for quite a while. Hopefully, this will turn out to be a regular thing for us. To get started, our question of the week responses, I'll go over a few of those responses. We had a tremendous response to that. And I'm not going to read all of them. I'll start out by reading some of them. Our question of the week from last week: do you think the United States government will disclose the existence of UFOs and or aliens in 2021? What do you think about that, Cronkite?
Well, I don't know if it'll be 2021, but I think it's coming sooner than later. And I believe that the media and the government and all of these, Hollywood and everything are setting us up, easing us into the transition to disclose it. And I think it's all one big master plan to show, hey, we aren't alone. They've been here for a while.
I think I kind of share your outlook there. Without talking politics, because we don't talk politics on this show, right. We have a situation at the highest elected office right now in the United States, and I think that by next summer, if it's not worked out to where somebody, is not in office, I think that person has a habit of tweeting a bunch of things, and it is untelling what they may tweet.
It's hard to say what will come out of that because, Twitter can be your best friend or your worst enemy, right?
Exactly. Well, our good friend of the show, Bobby Akers, his reply was, nope, there's no money in it. And I kind of agree, with Bobby, just a little bit there. We had a listener named Shirley Anderson said, no, unfortunately not. We had a listener that goes by the handle Natural Philosopher, said at any point between now and 2024, if not after 2024, the window closes. So
I'll be interested to know why they think that window.
Yeah. Those were just a few of our listener responses. We'll have more of those throughout the show for you. We will be giving our new question of the week towards the end of the show, but you can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396. That's 606-373-3396. You can email me, Goose, at heretochewbubblegum.com. That's Goose at heretochewbubblegum.com. If you have any news tips or other interesting or weird X-File type stories, you can email Cronkite and give them your email address.
It's Cronkite at heretochewbubblegum.com.
Cronkite, we had some listeners actually text. We also had some listeners that left voicemails, but we're not going to play those on the show because, keep it clean. We're trying to reach a broader audience and not go into the blue or explicit categories. Sure. So, damn and hell are not cuss words. Feel free to say those. Those are expressions. Cronkite, read our first listener email.
All right, this is from the Lone Gunman, and it says, awesome show, Goose. Excuse me. I'm glad that you're back and feeling better. Love the interview segment, and I'm a fan of deadpit.com. I look forward to the Art Bell tribute shows that you talked about.
And thank you very much, Lone Gunman, for texting that. Again, you can call, text, or leave a voicemail. It's simple to do. 606-373-3396. That's 606-373-3396. We also had a text from someone that goes by Bearded Sisters. They said around the age of 12 or 13, they saw their first UFO. It was at midnight, and it was a time for our dog to relieve himself in the front garden. As always, I looked up at the night sky, which was cloudless. Amongst the stars was a sharp, bright light, which was zigzagging all over the sky. No one was in a plane or helicopter. Living close to the airport, I knew well on that topic, and it stayed there for about 90 seconds before shooting off at incredible speeds. This happened in the northwest of England area. This was my first of many sightings. Thank you very much, Bearded Sisters and Lone Gunman, for texting us at Here To Chew Bubblegum. Well, Cronkite, we got cold weather in our area coming in next week. I dread it. I'm not a fan of snow.
No, not at all. I'm a shorts and Hawaiian shirts kind of guy myself.
I don't necessarily go for the Hawaiian shirts. Magnum PI look like
right.
You do.
Well,
But I do like shorts and T-shirts.
Absolutely. No, this time of year, I like fall. Fall's nice. It's a nice transition, but winter is not. That is not what I like.
For next week's show, I'll give you a little homework if you don't care.
All right, sure.
Why don't you look up what season has more UFO sightings reported?
Oh, that's interesting.
Whether it's winter, spring, summer, fall.
Okay. Well, if I could venture a guess right off the bat, I would say winter. And the reason I would say winter is because of the sky is clearer.
Right.
But I'm probably wrong by looking at your face right
no,
now.
I have no clue what the answer is. My answer would be summer, simply because I like summer, and I tend to do more sky gazing at night during the summertime
because it's warm, right?
So
okay.
But that's an interesting fact.
Okay,
so
I'll definitely check it out.
We're going to start out our first segment of the show with a new ongoing series that we're entitling "The Truth Is Out There." We'll be talking about UFOs, unclassified documents, UFO crashes. This is the first week of the series, and we're going to be talking about Ronald Reagan and his obsession with UFOs. Are you aware of Ronald Reagan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Now,
are you aware of his obsession with UFOs?
I was not aware of his obsession with UFOs, but that makes me like him so much more.
Okay. Well, just to summarize some of the stuff that I have researched on Ronald Reagan, and I wish I'd had time to highlight this. I'm not going to read it all. And stop me, going through here if you have anything to add.
Okay.
Before Ronald Reagan was the president of the United States, he was a Hollywood actor, and he had two separate UFO encounters of his own. The first one was more of an alien abduction case. The exact dates of this encounter are unknown, and the incident happened somewhere between 1967 and 1975. While Ronald Reagan was serving as governor of California, he and his wife Nancy were on their way to attend a Hollywood-type party. By the time they arrived, unbeknown to them, they were an hour late and had a strange story to tell. The story states that they were driving in their car on the highway, and they saw a strange light flying on the side of their car. Reagan stopped the car so that they might get a better look at the object. Both he and Nancy viewed the strange lights for several moments before continuing on their way. Speculation is that the missing time Ronald and Nancy Reagan could not account for was proof of an abduction encounter. Whether Reagan pursued any type of hypnotic regression therapy to recover that time is unknown. That's his first experience.
Wow. That's wild.
And that's actually documented. I can't remember what celebrities were at the party, but you can read that they were an hour late and that him and Nancy was disheveled. They didn't realize they were an hour late.
Well, it makes you wonder, as someone of Ronald Reagan's stature, his reputation, what would he have gained from making that story up?
Yeah, especially as governor of California.
Exactly.
He wouldn't have gained anything.
Absolutely not. If anything, he would have been ridiculed.
Yeah, he would have been, at that time, like you said, he would have been ridiculed. He would have been made fun of.
Absolutely.
He might not have been elected governor again.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, that's interesting.
All right, his second incident is more precise and straightforward. In late 1974, while flying to Bakersfield, California, a strange bright object became visible to both Ronald Reagan and the pilot on a private plane, Bill Panther. The strange craft remained at their side for several moments before vanishing at an alarming speed. Neither man could offer satisfactory explanation for the object. As you might imagine, many of these theories concerning Reagan's time in charge of the United States, a time when America was without question the dominant economic and military power on the planet. Now, Reagan created the Star Wars project.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that plan was sold, if you believe more than the surface stuff, that plan was sold to the people of the United States and the Congress as a defense against the Soviet Union during the Cold War. But some people think it was actually a protective measure against known hostile extraterrestrials, at least according to some researchers. What's your thought on that?
I 100% believe. No, all right. So I believe that. I don't know if it was necessarily against hostile extraterrestrials, but I do. I will say that he was probably on the right path by saying, there's a lot out there that we don't see.
Yes.
As far as space rocks, debris and comets, rogue planets, black holes, whatever, we don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're only watching, about 10% of our sky
yes.
at any given time?
Yes.
I mean, I think, he was onto something there.
Now, let me, I've got more of the Reagan stuff to go over here, but let me throw something at you real quick. All right. Reagan's vice president was George Bush, who was a former head of the CIA before he was vice president. Before, the elder Bush passed away several years ago, he made a comment when somebody asked him about extraterrestrial life. I can't remember what the exact comment was, but, he was older at that time, and I think he had a little dementia. So some people just pass it off, some people don't. He said that they were something basically like they were already here, they've been here a long time, or, people couldn't handle the truth. It was something along those lines. But he more or less did, and like I said, a lot of people don't believe it.
Right.
I know Art Bell talked about it on one of his Men Out in the Desert shows. But I should have done research exactly to find out what it was. But there's a few more things in the Reagan thing here that will, kind of blow your mind.
Well, just from the, not knowing as much. Obviously, you've researched this.
Yes.
Not knowing as much as not diving into it, just kind of hearing what you were saying there. That's the conclusion that I would make. But I mean, here's the thing: the guy wouldn't have gained anything.
No.
I mean, he's got to be onto something, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you think about the elder Bush being the head of the CIA. He knows things.
Oh yeah,
or new things.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not it can't be a secret in that circle of folks. It can't be.
Right. No, not at all. And I totally agree with you. This next one here, I'm just going to talk about. It was back in 1985. Ronald Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev had a meeting, and they were having diplomatic talks. They took a short break. Okay, and this information didn't come out until 2009. This is when it finally came to light. They had interpreters with them. And Reagan basically asked Gorbachev if we had an invasion that targeted the United States, would Russia help us? Okay, now, why would you ask the second, Russia at that time was the second highest, superpower, you had the United States and Russia. he asked him, during their break from the diplomatic talks, if we had an alien invasion, would you help us? We need to come up with a way, if something happens, that we notify each other that, hey, we didn't send off a nuke and accidentally nuke each other. And Mikhail Gorbachev told him, yes, that they would help us. So, okay. Now, that brings up another thing. If Reagan didn't know something, why would he ask him that?
Exactly.
Okay. If Mikhail Gorbachev didn't know something, why would he say yes?
Well, and yeah, you look at this is right around, this is the Cold War.
Exactly.
You don't reach out to your enemy and ask.
Exactly. Okay. Before we go to 1987, we're going to stay in 1985 just a little bit. Here's an entry from the Reagan Diary dated Tuesday, June 11th, 1985. Now listen to this, okay? Listen to this entry from his diary, okay? Had a group of Democratic and Republican congressmen in the Roosevelt Room for a session on why they should support bipartisan bill before the House to give aid to Nicaragua freedom fighters. I think we did some good. Lunch with top 5 scientists. It was fascinating. Space truly is the last frontier, and some of the developments there are, astronomy, etc., are like science fiction, except they are real. I learned that our shuttle capacity is such we could orbit 300 people. This was in 1985. When our known space program, not unknown, when our known space program could haul 6 to 8 people in a space shuttle.
Yeah, I think it cruised 7 people. Yeah.
All right. Now here, after Reagan had this meeting with top 5 scientists, he put in his diary that he learned our shuttle capacity is such we could orbit 300 people. This was in 1985. This was 35 years ago. So just think about technology now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean...
we've probably got ships that we don't know about that could probably orbit 1,000 people.
Well, who knows what? We could... Because it seems like I don't have the exact article or anything, but it seems like I read something about a year ago that if I don't know if our listeners are familiar with Star Trek or anything. I'm sure some of them are.
Right.
But it seems like I read somewhere that NASA was developing a quote unquote warp drive, a faster than light travel, if at all possible. 35 years, and you think about where we came from the 40s to 85, and then from 85 to now.
Right. Well, think about the technology for a second. All right. First, I mean, I don't know your opinion. I'm sure you probably share the same as mine. After the alleged weather balloon incident at Roswell, first, I don't think it was a weather balloon.
No.
But look at how fast technology advanced after that.
Absolutely.
I mean, leaps and bounds after that.
Not even 20 years later, we're landing someone on the moon.
Yes.
We're landing man on the moon. We have rockets. We have jet engines. We have the microchip. Yeah. We have microwaves.
Yeah. And our top scientist on that was a former Nazi that helped us land a man on the moon.
Yes.
Now, the Nazis, they were evil people. And that's my opinion.
Absolutely.
But as far as technology goes, they were so far advanced, more advanced than us, than Russia, than any country.
Yeah. And that I'm glad that you brought that up, because I'm working on I'm getting some stuff together. I'm going to do a story on the Kecksburg object. I don't know if you're familiar with what that is or not, but it relates to the Nazis.
Right.
And I'm super pumped about it.
Right.
It's a shameless little plug for myself.
Well, hey, you go ahead and plug away, because there's I look forward to that segment, because
I think it's going to be awesome.
I have researched the Nazi Bell a lot. Mm-hmm. And what's fascinating to me about that is nobody says what happened to it after the war was over.
Well, I have a theory.
Oh.
I have a theory.
I have a theory too, but going back to the Reagan story, in 1987, Reagan addressed the United Nations in a historic speech. And one of the quotes in his speech, it goes like this: perhaps we should spend some outside, perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And Reagan said this in 1987. Okay, so if you take all of that, okay, about Ronald Reagan, you take his abduction, his sighting, his vice president, him asking Mikhail Gorbachev if we had an alien invasion, would they help us? Reading that we could orbit 300 people in his diary, and addressing the United Nations with that. I think Reagan was more than fascinated with UFOs. I think Reagan knew that there's life beyond this planet, this solar system, this universe.
It sounds almost like he had been in contact or has someone that had been in contact.
Exactly. You go back to George Bush. It sounds like to me that he was trying to disclose to the public without actually disclosing.
Yes. And what worries me the most is about the hostile. He keeps talking about that. He keeps referencing that on two separate occasions that I read. And that's worrisome. But it almost makes you wonder because from his first incident in the 70s to the mid 80s, there wasn't much between there and there. No. So you almost wonder if there was some regression memory techniques
that were coming about,
that he were thinking about if he were abducted, what he saw and what he heard and what he was talked to about.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's skin on the back of the hair on the back of my neck is standing up.
Well, hey, I've always found that fascinating.
Yeah.
Especially, and I guess what is fascinating to me is in his diary he had that, and that is available to the public. Now, this is the President of the United States in the 80s. If, you're not going to make up fairy tales or lies and put in your memoirs.
Absolutely.
That was in his diary, that we had a spaceship in 1985 that could orbit 300 people, when at that time the public space program was 6 to 8, And I firmly believe that the United States government has two space programs. We have NASA, and then we have a secret one.
I believe that. Again, doing research on my own, and I kind of go down the rabbit hole on YouTube sometimes. There are conversations with folks that talk about a secret space force that has been part of our military or whatever since the 40s, 30s, 40s.
Now, let me ask you a question. In your research, has it always tied back to the Navy as being over that?
It has, yes. Actually, it has.
That's. I have done similar research, and mine also, it goes back. The Navy's always tied in or mentioned somewhere.
The Navy's name appears more than any other that I've noticed.
Than any other branch.
Yes,
I have noticed that too. So, what's one of the stories you're going to talk to us about?
All right, so I'm gonna begin with one of the probably the more famous ones, the Phoenix lights, which are sometimes called the lights over Phoenix. Something that you might not know, maybe some of the listeners know. A couple of weeks ago, when I was talking about the celebrities that have spotted UFOs, yes. I read that actually Kurt Russell, while flying in an airplane, was one of the people who actually called the Phoenix lights in. So the date is March 13th, 1997, and there were the Phoenix lights, sometimes known as lights over Phoenix, were a series of widely sighted unidentified flying objects or UFOs observed in the skies over the U.S. The U.S. states of Arizona, Nevada, and the Mexican state of Sonora. The lights, varying in descriptions, were seen by thousands of people between 1930 hours and 2230 hours Mountain Standard Time in a space of about 300 miles from the Nevada line through Phoenix to the edge of Tucson. There were two distinct events involved in the incident: a triangular formation of lights seen to pass over the state, and a series of stationary lights seen in the Phoenix area. The United States Air Force identified the second group of lights as flares dropped from an A-10 Warthog that was on a training exercise at the Barry Goldwater Range in southwest Arizona. Witnesses claim to have observed a huge carpenter square-shaped UFO containing 5 spherical lights or possibly light-emitting engines. Fife Symington, the governor at the time, was the only witness to the incident. He later called the project otherworldly. That almost sounds like the teeth. Oh no, what is it?
What was it?
The teeth. Oh, I heard you talk about it earlier today, and I can't remember what it is.
Teeth, jaws.
No, the triangular. The T30 something.
Yeah, I talked about it in a few shows. I can't remember the exact numbers of it, but I know what you're talking about.
But that triangular formation almost sounds like that.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, why would the military drop flares off over a populated area?
You know, and there are videos of it. It doesn't look like. I mean,
it doesn't look like flares.
Just not to me.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm not a flare expert, but if you're going to drop something hot and burning in a populated area, couldn't that catch somebody's house on fire?
Absolutely.
Couldn't that land on somebody's car?
And if you were going to do a training exercise that you knew were going to spark this kind of controversy,
wouldn't you publicize it?
Exactly, immediately. Not wait until someone is like, well, hey, something's going on here. You know.
Well, sorry, we forgot to tell you.
Yeah, my bad. You know, no.
I don't believe that.
I call BS.
I didn't know that Kurt Russell was the one that called that in, but I think that's fascinating.
Yeah, no. Well, see, I didn't know initially either, and then last week I was looking up the celebrities I've seen UFOs, and it. Interesting little tidbit. Kurt Russell's definitely one of my favorite actors, for sure.
Right. I've never met Kurt Russell, but I have met his stunt double. You know, back in the day. Yeah, Dick Warlock, real great guy. He actually lives in Tennessee, not too far from here.
Oh wow.
He's since retired, and for those of you that are horror movie fans, Dick Warlock was also Michael Myers in Halloween 2. He's a great guy. Great guy.
Very cool. Very cool.
He's told a bunch of stories about Kurt Russell. So, yeah.
I want to hear those stories later.
I like Kurt Russell on Death Proof.
Let's see here.
Cronkite's got us some more stuff here.
Yeah,
while he's looking into that, I'm going to read some more listener responses to our question of the week. Do you think the United States government will disclose the existence of UFOs or aliens in 2021? We had a listener named Cora Fields said, well, there is, and they already released it in April, but no one paid attention to the story. They definitely know more, but whether or not they release it is hard to say. I guess they will if it's convenient for them. And I kind of agree with Cora, and thank you very much for answering our question of the week. James Carpenter said no, they probably never will, while Joe Harlow said, why would they? Let's see, listener named Poison Apple said, what if they're planning a false alien invasion or visitation by disclosing UFOs? So that to me, that, you know, I'm not going to call anybody crazy, but that goes along with the fake moon landing theories.
Yeah, which is total.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah. We and I told Cronkite before we started filming the show, recording the show, we've actually had some. I love all of our listeners all across the world. We have some listeners that are really out there in their own solar system. So.
Well.
And I'm not going to play those on the show because I don't want to embarrass those listeners. I don't want to shame them or, that's not what we're about. We're not about shaming or ridiculing people. It
takes all kinds to make the world go round.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Do you have anything else to add about the Phoenix Lights?
Well, yeah, I was actually trying to find this little section here. In 2007, it reappeared. Mm-hmm. And the Air Force is actually calling this, and the Federal Aviation Administration, we're actually calling this more flares dropped by an F-16. Let's see. And so it reappeared in 2008. Lights were reported over Phoenix by local residents. These lights appeared to change from square to triangular formation over time. A Valley resident reported that shortly after the lights appeared, 3 jets were seen heading west in the direction of the lights. An official from Luke Air Force Base denied any United States Air Force activity in the area. And on April 22nd, 2008, a resident of Phoenix told a newspaper that the lights were nothing more than his neighbor releasing helium balloons with flares attached. What we just talked about. It takes all kinds to make the world go round.
Yeah, definitely.
But, that's odd. You have a lot of people seeing these lights. And the military's official stance is, well, there was nothing going on.
Right. You know, I always like the Phoenix Lights. I've researched it a little bit. I've not researched it that much, but I think that's a fascinating story.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Let's do. We're going to take a break, and we will be right back with our last two stories before we go into the news with Cronkite. Cronkite will actually be recording his news here at Bunker Studios today. How does that feel?
You know, I feel like I've arrived, Goose. I feel like I've arrived in, the greatness.
This next clip comes from Episode 11. It premiered on January 10th, 2021, and featured topics such as U.S. Patent 10144-532B2 and the inventor of that patent, Salvatore Caesar Pace.
Goose, talk to me. What we going on about tonight?
Oh, we're going on about tonight.
Yeah, what are we rambling about?
You're ready, huh?
Yeah, what are we rambling about today?
We don't ramble. We educate people.
we
share stories with our audience.
Professionally regurgitate what we find.
Okay, and you are ear candy. Don't forget that.
That's a fact.
We're going to start out the show with segment 1 talking about U.S. Patent 10144-532B2. Did you happen to see the pictures that I put on our Facebook page?
I did.
Earlier in the week?
Yes, I did.
That is a picture of this patent. Just from looking at the picture, what did you think about it? What did it look like to you?
To me, I thought about the lights of Phoenix,
Okay.
the Phoenix lights.
But did it look like something from this planet?
It kind of did.
Really?
It didn't, but it did. Like, it looked like something that maybe had been reverse engineered.
Right.
But something we had built.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. That's what I'm getting at. This is a craft that uses internal mass reduction, and it is now property of the United States Navy, the Department of Navy.
Of course it is.
The application for the patent was filed on April 28th, 2016. It was given priority filing on that date, and on November 2nd, 2017, the patent application was granted. All right, basically what the patent is, like I said, it was a craft. It uses internal mass reduction, comprises of inner resistant cavity wall and an outer resistant cavity wall, and microwave emitters. They are electrically charged. The microwave emitters create high-frequency electromagnetic waves. So, it's supposed to create a localized, polarized vacuum outside and make the outside of it resistant. Now, through my research, this can also fly. It can also go into the ocean. And we've had, I think you even have a news story coming up this week, don't you, about something going in the ocean?
Yes. Do you want me to talk about it?
No, but I'm just saying there's a lot of similarities there.
Oh, for sure.
With what this is. Now, this was invented by Salvatore Caesar Pace. He's an American aerospace engineer who invented and worked at this, and he worked with the Department of Navy from until late 2019, early 2020. I wasn't able to find out why he no longer works there. Now, there's not a lot of information for Salvatore Caesar Pace online. What I did find is that he received his advanced education at Case Western Reserve University in Ohio, and he graduated with an MS in 1993. In 1999, he received his PhD for mechanical and aerospace engineering from the same university on the subject of the bubble generation under reduced gravity conditions for both co-flow and cross-flow configurations. Pace researched and was sponsored by NASA, and in 1992, his project at that time was tested by NASA on board the Space Shuttle STS-50. His patent applications on behalf of his employers have attracted international attention for their futuristic sounding technology and potential military and energy producing applications. They've also led to speculation that this could be misinformation intended to mislead the United States strategic adversaries and misdirect them. And all right, some other patents of his include a room temperature superconductor, and that's supposed to enable the transmission of electrical power with no losses. A nuclear, a death ray, basically. He invented that. Some of people claim that his inventions, like I said, are a part of a misinformation campaign designed to help America lead the way and have their adversaries chase a ghost project that doesn't exist. Now, I think his projects are real because, we've had recent events of, we had the Tic Tac UFO that went in the ocean off California.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then we had this one in Hawaii recently.
Mm-hmm.
So, just based on that, on what his craft can do,
Yeah.
I think this is absolutely real technology.
It's very interesting, to say the least. I mean, it's one of those things that make too much sense to be false, if that makes sense.
Oh yes, definitely, definitely.
And if it is being the Department of the Navy,
yeah, they're into all that
absolutely,
stuff.
and they're always looking for a joint strategic fighter or some kind of craft. What better way to have something that can go be submersible,
Right.
and can fly in the atmosphere?
And I totally agree with you. Now, some other interesting facts that I found out. Okay. Like I said, there isn't a lot written about Dr. Pace. He has almost no digital trail, no social media, no website, etc. Okay. Some people have claimed that he doesn't exist, that he is a made-up name just so the Navy could use that name or alias to get the patent that they wanted for this craft. Okay. Now, his university that he graduated from, the Case Western Reserve University, it's in Cleveland, Ohio, which is less than 4 hours away from the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base located in Dayton, Ohio. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
It's pretty coincidental.
No, because we all know.
Now, what is his name? His full name?
Let's see. Let me flip back over here. Salvador Caesar Pace, P-A-I-S, or Pace. I'll just hand that sheet to you there. I think that his patent, this first patent, the US 1014453-2B2, I think that that's a real invention. I don't think that they put that out there to misguide other countries. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, why would the Navy spend all this money and push for this application and, basically speed the process up to get this patent? Why would they do that? Because you don't want this technology to fall in some other country's hands.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is maybe another country has either stumbled upon the same idea, or maybe they're building their own craft that's similar.
I think countries all across the world that are not third world countries and that does have the financial resources, I think they do have crafts. I think it's funny that after the patent went through, he no longer works there, and I wasn't able to find out why. Like I said, some people says that he don't even exist. That's a made-up name. And that they put all the background information out just to go along with it.
Well, now, is it possible that he may have, once the patent was secured, or, I'm sorry, maybe once, the reason they tried so hard to get it, the patent so quick, is it possible that he left and went to another country and works for another government?
Okay, but why would you why would you let a top scientist go if you're going to get his patent? You wouldn't let him go. You would keep him. You know,
Figure out
he
a way
would
to
be an
keep him.
asset.
Sure.
You know. No, there is one interview out. I can't remember the name of the site that allegedly done an interview with him after his termination. It was through email, so it wasn't like a, you know, so you can't really say that that was him responding to the questions that they emailed.
So it is possible that he doesn't exist.
Very possible.
That he's just a fictional person used by, that he himself is the Navy.
Correct. You know, and I mean, just the similarities where he supposedly went to college at, you know, in Cleveland. You know, that's less than 4 hours away from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base,
Yes.
which we all know was connected to the Roswell crash and other unexplained events. Now, some claim that this patent that was patented was originally invented by Roger Sawyer, and he came up with this idea in the early 2000s, and he's actually given credit for creating the EM drive. Now, a lot of people are saying that Roger actually invented this back in the early 2000s. And Roger was also an aerospace engineer like Pays, and he also worked for the Department of Navy. Okay, now, there's also very little... There's more stuff to find on Roger Sawyer than there is Dr. Pays, but you know there's still not a lot there.
Well, now, interestingly, now do we know anything about his early life?
Which one?
Pace. Is there any paper trail that shows before he becomes an aerospace engineer?
Very little. There's I think there might have been one site that just basically said he was born overseas and his family moved here. You know, they migrated here and. That's basically it, you know. And then he's in college, and then he's done all this, and you know, I think that this name, if he doesn't exist, has been in existence for quite a while. Because, like I said, in 1992, NASA took his idea when he was still in college and put it on board, you know, one of their ships to test. So now he could exist. All right, it's very possible. But like I said. If he did exist, why would you get rid of a guy after he, you know, made this big invention for you, this flying craft that can do warp speeds, fly underwater, you know?
Yeah, that is very weird.
And it goes along, you know, the pictures that I posted, that goes along with what I've been saying, man-made UFOs. Mm-hmm. I think that the Department of Navy is in possession of a reversed engineered man-made UFO.
Very interesting. That's a good. I mean,
you
that
do
makes
realize
sense.
we're doing a show and we
Sorry,
can't have dead air, right?
I've for some reason my brain just stopped working. Sorry.
You have a brain?
Maybe.
You have to stay up late again partying and come in and do a show. Let's see how that works out for you.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder though. I mean, the reason I brought up his early life, I wonder if he is, like you say, if he is just a, if he is just something made up if he is just a person made up by the Navy,
right.
a collective source, or if he is, in fact, maybe, and this is way out there,
right?
But what if he is a missing persons from when he was just born, and the government brought him in and raised him, so to speak. See, this is what happens when I have no sleep. I just go down these tangents.
Well, no, I mean, there's actually, cases where the government has, and that was the remote viewing project, correct? Where the government more or less has raised kids and trained them. They're supposed to be psychic and remote view and all that.
Right.
And, I firmly believe that there's things going on right now that our government does that we have no idea about.
Absolutely.
And we would be shocked if we did.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Ned, what do you think about it?
I think the same. I mean,
Just crazy, ain't it?
You'll never know. Like that one guest we had. He basically said, if they want us to know, we'll know.
Right.
If they don't, we won't.
And did that person also say that whatever we could imagine,
they have it. So
Didn't when when you posted the teaser about
Yes.
didn't somebody comment, somebody taking a picture of a
Yeah. Here recently in Roswell, they took a picture of a triangle craft that would fit exactly what that is. You know, I mean, for anyone that says no, this is misinformation. Think about, I mean, yeah, it's the U.S. government that, you know, owns the patent office and all that, but these branches still have to spend money to do all this and to put this information out there, you know. And I know, you know, that the government wastes money all the time, but I mean, on something frivolous like this, there would be a better way to misinform other countries. That's just my opinion, versus doing this.
Well, now the conspiracy theory is surrounding, or first of all, do you believe we landed on the moon? I've got to get that out of the way.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this conspiracy theory around the moon landing, it was that we faked it just to bankrupt Russia.
Right.
So, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time in history that supposedly we've tried this economic warfare. Now, me personally, I don't believe that's true. I believe we landed on the moon. I believe there's too much evidence to show that we have been there.
We had too many smart people working
Sure.
at NASA at that time, and we've talked about it briefly before. You know, was it Werner von Braun?
Yeah, Werner von Braun.
So, I mean, and that goes back to World War II and the Nazis, and just, you know, if we didn't have those guys, we might not would have made it out of the solar, not solar system, but out of the atmosphere onto the moon. Those guys were highly intelligent, and I honestly think that they worked on reverse engineering prior to, World War II.
I believe they did too. It's there are too there are too many of those guys that are crazy intelligent, where it's odd that just that small section of the world has that many super geniuses.
Right.
It's too much of a coincidence.
It's something in the water.
Yeah.
So,
Then again, wasn't the cult part of what Hitler believed in a lot of it?
But I mean, he was like trying to find he was trying to find ancient artifacts that would give him power.
What if he did? What if a witch came out and cast a spell on all these guys and they?
Well, I don't really think that happened. But,
Well, I mean, but
if that did happen,
not to simplify
they would still be here.
True. Well, but not to simplify it to that point. But
right.
you get what I'm saying. Is
Definitely.
what if he did find an artifact that gave these guys the upper hand intellectually, physically, all of that.
Some people believe too that when he couldn't find them, he also actually tried to recreate them. And there's cases where he's tried to recreate the cup that Christ drank out of, at the Last Supper. I don't know, But, I mean, he actually did, because I think somebody actually found one that they discarded in a river in maybe 2015 or 16, and they traced it back to one that they had made themselves. They were trying to duplicate it.
That is interesting.
It's very interesting, and we're definitely going to have to address that in the show, but there's so much there.
But I mean,
to talk about,
Yeah, and I'm not the only one that sees that there is a huge amount of intellectual superiority in that area.
Right.
Like, I'm not the only one who sees that, right?
No.
So, like, there has to be something there, right? Either, one crashed craft is not going to create that. It could be several crashed crafts or a fleet of crashed crafts, or maybe they stumbled upon a base that they somehow overran, or maybe he did find an ancient artifact.
So, there's a lot of people that claim that, So, I mean, just in today's time, this patent, with what it looks like to me something not from this planet.
Mm-hmm.
And it has the capability to drop down from the sky and go underwater and not be crushed and everybody survive. I think this is technology that we may hear about 20 years from now.
Sure.
If that is if disclosure doesn't happen. I still think disclosure is going to happen,
mm-hmm.
because me and Nate were talking earlier in the week with recent events. I think word will get out there. A certain individual can't get on Twitter and tweet a bunch of stuff now. because they're not allowed on that anymore. But I still think that, they're going to let a bunch of stuff out.
Sure. Well, now going back to what Ned was saying about the picture of the triangle craft that someone had taken.
Yeah.
That was actually on Area 51.
Yes.
Taken from a bunker, or taken from a hangar
Right.
at Area 51. I can't remember who commented on that, but it was...
I think it might have been Bobby Akers.
Yeah, I think it was. But that's a pretty good that's a pretty good image.
Oh, definitely.
On episode 12 the following week, which premiered on January 17th, 2021, Cronkite opens the show talking about a recent flag video from YouTube that was later reposted. Plus, he has his historic laughter breakdown. Hello, everyone, and welcome in to Here To Chew Bubblegum. My name is Goose.
I'm Cronkite.
Well, thank you very much for telling me that, Cronkite, because I would have forgot what your name was.
Well, I'm glad. I'm just here to help me get through the day. And of course, the man in the corner over there.
There is no man in the corner right now.
Well, they don't know that. They can't
He is
see.
he is MIA. Ned is not here presently, but he will be arriving soon.
Yeah. Well, he had a late night last night.
Yeah. He's trying to get that interview with Britney Spears and Jessica Simpson.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was on the West Coast.
On the West Coast,
boogieing down.
Yeah, he was doing his thing.
He actually called me about 1:30 in the morning, and he was singing that one Miley Cyrus song, "Party in the USA." So.
I don't doubt it. He's a Miley fan.
And my ears are still hurting.
He's a Miley fan
So.
now.
How's your week been?
It has been a long week. Working over at the
Cookie factory?
At the cookie factory, it's just been a terribly long. We got behind, and something like 70 hours in 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, it's I'm still recouping from it, just a little worn out. But I'm here.
I am glad you're here. I know we've talked during the week. Something that pissed me off earlier in the week is we got up at 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday to record the YouTube midweek moment, which is video format, and posted it around 6 that evening. 30 minutes later, it was flagged and taken down.
Now, why was it flagged and taken down?
It was flagged and taken down because we had posted missing persons pictures with contact information on who to contact if anyone had saw or had any information on the person with the picture whose picture was displayed.
Really?
Yes.
That's what it was flagged for?
That is what it was flagged for. I appealed the decision. And that next morning at about 7 o'clock, YouTube emailed me and said that they were sorry, it was their mistake, and the video was back up. Now, I was going to re-edit the show on Thursday and post it, but I'm glad that they did that, because we were only trying to help families,
Sure.
That have questions about loved ones,
Absolutely.
in order to find them or to help them. I mean, we weren't doing that to be vindictive or anything. We were trying to do a good thing. Now, will we do that again? Probably not. We probably won't post pictures at the end of our videos like that. I've been saying for a few weeks I will update the website. I've still not done that. So maybe we'll add a section on the website strictly for that.
Well, and that you and I, we like helping people.
Yes.
We like helping anyone we can, any way we can.
Exactly.
And using this platform to try to get some answers or closure,
Right,
or
right.
get people in contact with each other. That's a smart thing. Listen, I've seen some of the stuff they put on YouTube, and I cannot believe that was flagged.
Yes, it was flagged.
That's wild.
I wish I had kept the email that I had sent them back, but it basically said, I'm sorry that, this went against your policy. I think you should view it again. We did this to help families find their loved ones or bring closure to missing persons cases. And, their email was, it was a standard, sorry, we made a mistake. It didn't violate your policy after our policy after second look.
So did someone actually sit down and watch this video, and that's when they flagged
The second time they did. The first time it was flagged, I guess just because, in the tags I put missing persons, and that's what flagged it. Just because I put the tag missing persons in video.
Well, that's even more disturbing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, also, and I can't remember what site this was, but I was on our Facebook page earlier in the week, and I was scrolling through my timeline, and I tried to go back up and find what show had posted it. I could not find it, but there is a show that did a story on the elevator game, and guess who they talked about on the elevator game?
Is it Miss Lamb?
Bingo.
Really?
You know, yes, they did that shortly after we did. And I have noticed before, and I think it's the same person, we will talk about a subject, and then they will talk about a subject, which, you know, I find that flattering. You know, imitation is a sincerest form of flattery. So,
Absolutely.
you know, people's trying to duplicate us, which I think that's great, and that's awesome. But I just, you know, it was a busy week at the cookie factory. As you said, you know, it's been busy.
It's been one of those weeks for everyone.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, the girls who butt chugged cough syrup.
Yeah. Do you want me to read that one? Say. Well, here, you want me to trade with you? You want me to trade with you? Oh. We're already recording. So. "40 seconds of this, Ned."
Oh God, my
And he
belly.
snorted. "Get in my belly."
Are we recording?
Oh, yeah. We've actually been recording quite a while.
That was a.
Okay.
I didn't. God.
We are going to move right along with segment 3. I apologize for the guy you hear. He's looking over some of these things that I shared with him. We're going to be talking about unbelievable true stories. I'll start out. The haunted apartment. I was having lunch with a new coworker once, and he was telling me about his apartment and how it was haunted. He didn't tell me where it was, but the haunting sounded familiar, like an apartment that I'd lived in once. I told him the address, and he turned white as a sheet. He was living in the same haunted apartment. When I told him a few details only he could know, he freaked out and moved out of the place the very next week.
That's weird.
And that is our first unbelievable true story. What's your first topic on unbelievable true stories?
All right, let me get professional here.
Okay.
The girls who butt chugged coughs.
The what? Do you want me to read that one for you?
You may have to.
Okay. All right, here. I will read that one. Our next story in unbelievable true stories. The girls who butt chugged cough syrup. Butt chugging. Cronkite has now took his headset off. Butt chugging is an inadvisable activity in which a person pours liquid into their butt. Usually as a way to get drunk more quickly, but seriously, don't do it. I read it, but you can attempt to read it there.
I don't know if I can get through it. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this right.
Okay.
The girls who butt chugged cough syrup. Butt chugging is
No. Who butt chugs anything? They poured liquid into their butt. How do you do that? How do you do that?
I have no idea.
Ned, Google. All right.
That's why the name of this segment is Unbelievable True Stories.
Usually as a way to get drunk more quickly. Oh, that's when they put the stuff in their butt.
Yeah.
But seriously, don't do it. Anyway, these two girls went viral on Twitter after pictures of them butt chugging cough syrup were published. There's a whole story behind it, but be warned, it's kind of gross and, again, completely inadvisable. Please don't do this. I got it. I got through it.
Good. You did awesome.
Why?
Man, your face is so red.
Why would anyone? Now I'm curious. I'm going to go look for it.
I wish we saved this segment for the YouTube show, but, thankfully we've got Ned over there that actually videoed the whole thing, and the listeners will be able to see your face turning so red.
Please don't.
And it is already up on our Facebook page.
Dang.
I apologize.
You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum with Goose. We'll be back after these messages.
Take a lighter look into the darker side of the world. Join Elliot, Gertie, and Beagle as they jump into the dark abyss of hauntings, fables, UFOs, and beyond. The Spooky Family Podcast. You can find them where you listen to quality podcasts.
Are you a horror movie fan? Yeah, I dig horror movies. Are you searching for a great internet horror talk radio show to listen to? Why, sure, that sounds quite spiffy. Then you need to tune into deadpit.com. It's the original horror talk radio show. Dead Pit is a show by the fans and for the fans. Uncensored and unbiased opinions are the goal of the show, giving fans honest reviews on new films and vintage classics of the horror genre. Make deadpit.com your #1 horror station destination.
See the ladies walking along one by one, and I never want to hear I have a boyfriend. Tell me why I'm stuck as a virgin with rage. Tell me why I so need a cute girl my age. Tell me why I never want to hear you say
Episode 18 featured a Perry County, Kentucky UFO story that we discussed on the show.
We're going to start out this segment talking about the Perry County UFO incident that happened December 12th, 2001. Now, I've labeled it Perry County UFO incident because, to the best of my knowledge and research, I don't think anybody has ever explained exactly what it was. But on December 12th, 2011, Dr. Fessel, F-E-S-S-E-L, he posted on a message board, said something big is going on in Perry County, Kentucky. I have a friend that lives in the area, and they tell me Black Hawk helicopters are all over the place. Miles and miles of roads are blocked off, and serious-looking people in suits all over. Here is a small news story. There is one report that was on TV, and the reporter said there was a total blackout as far as the government is concerned. Now, Dr. Fessel, or Fossil, or Fesrilli, if you want to get Italian, also posted on the message board stories that WYMT in Perry County had reported. One of them, I don't think I'm reading this in order. Okay, let me skip over real quick to the original report on WYMT. It said, emergency crews are searching tonight following reports of a possible explosion in Perry County. Several viewers tell Mountain News they heard an explosion earlier this evening. We have a crew following the search teams, but there is nothing confirmed at this time. Okay, now, when the doctor shared the news story, an update said crews are still trying to find out what happened following reports of explosions and fireball sightings in several areas. It happened on Sunday night when people started calling in reports of rattling in their homes. Crews searched the area between Lothar and Knott County line for hours trying to find the source of the alleged blast. Officials say helicopters did spot charred trees and smoke near High Mountain Rock in the Sulks Branch area of Perry County. Fire officials say a break in an abandoned mine is the best explanation for now. Old abandoned mines catch fire and smoke real bad, and sometimes they flame up, and it does kill the trees and shrubbery around, and that's possible. That's what we've seen from the area. Chief Chris Engel from the Lotch Creek Fire Department said. Officials suspended their search on Monday morning, and they say the investigation will continue once they get more information. Then there was another update that said officials have decided to cancel the search until tomorrow for the possible explosion. We'll have more on this report coming up on Mountain News. I couldn't find any more news about that, but why would Black Hawk helicopters and men in suits be in Perry County if it was a mine explosion, a methane buildup?
Right. I think it comes down to the same thing as the train incident. Just a good cover-up.
Exactly. And to the best of my knowledge, when I was researching this, they found nothing. They found nothing. So, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, that's pretty wild.
Okay. Now, some responses to the post that was made.
Sorry.
Somebody wrote, "This is downright scary. What is even more frightening to me is the blackout. That's what I have a problem with." And let's see, a Perry County resident named Kathy Collins said, "If there is no plane missing, I think it could possibly be a UFO. If there is debris, it probably burned when it hit the ground." Let's see. And then some other people commented on the message board. So wasn't there a similar incident not too long ago in California, off the coast, I think? More replies go on to say, "My husband said to me last night that there are a lot of bomb, missile, and sites buried in different areas of Kentucky. Does anybody know anything about that?" This is just people posting, trying to explain what had happened. Mm-hmm. Here's another one. Says, "In the past, the blackouts and heavy presence of military and top brass could be well explained by misadventures of testing of their own technology. That could be the case in Kentucky." And then it says, "Y'all know they probably wouldn't want to be held liable for harming our citizens or property." And that's, the way I translated that, because they had "y'all know." So, and somebody, the last post said, "When I lived in Florida, there were many UFO sightings off the Panhandle coast. And the thought by local folk was that most were military testing their own UFOs. It serves them well to stir up fears of it being something foreign." And that is all that we have on the Perry County possible UFO from December 12th, 2011.
So do we know the exact location of where the burned areas were?
No, it was in between the Lothar section of Hazard and the Knott County line. So if any of our listeners have heard of this, please write in and give us your thoughts. If you have any more information, please share that with us.
Yeah, because, that's not too terribly far away. I'd like to travel there and check it out.
And that was like 10 years ago. Well, we can definitely do, because the fire chief from Lotch Creek, I know him personally, and I'm sure we can definitely, when we start doing YouTube videos, that will be one we definitely need to go try to check out.
Okay.
Right, call him on the show. Get him on the show if he wants. Let him talk about it.
Definitely. Chris is a really good guy.
Yeah.
So, I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm just going to stare at you until you remember it.
Okay. Well, that's not helping me. That's creeping me out a little bit. So, what I was going to say was that was 10 years ago, and that's a UFO sighting in our area that we never heard about until we had somebody email us earlier in the week.
Well, now, did they actually see anything in the sky, or is it just an explosion?
They saw a fiery explosion. So,
that is interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'd like to talk to the fire chief. Maybe he'll call in to talk to us.
Well, we can definitely try to make that happen. So, What I was going to say was when we do YouTube videos where you're working out now, you are willing to walk some, correct?
No,
Why?
I don't do that.
He has a chair. We just put some nice wheels on it, so.
Yeah, I don't do that. If I can't drive there, I mean, there's no sense in going.
Dirty Dan and Rebecca joined me in Bunker Studios on July 25th of last year, and this is from episode 39.
How's it going?
Oh, man, that's not what you say. Greetings.
Welcome to Here To Chew Bubblegum.
Okay. Really? You're going to go with that this week?
I mean, yeah. I'm here in Bunker Studios.
In Bunker Studios. So, and you've already messed up, man. You're supposed to say I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter now. Welcome, everyone, to episode 39. We are also live on Zoom on the Short Shit Show. Rebecca is in the studio in Bunker Studios. Dirty Dan is in Bunker Studios. And I understand that you had some problems earlier this week.
In regards to?
You were setting up a dating profile, and you wanted to pick a username that people would let everyone know that you love kids, and you picked Little Kid Lover, and that almost got you in trouble.
You weren't supposed to tell anyone that.
What? You told me not to.
Exactly. So why did you?
Well, because it's funny.
You're not wrong.
Okay. Rebecca, how are you doing? Welcome in to Bunker Studios, Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This is awesome.
We love having you here, and we love having you here. We love having both of you guys here. This is a treat. This will probably be a 2-part episode because I know when we get together and talk that
it's hours.
Yes, hours, yeah. But it is very important stuff. But Dirty Dan and Rebecca are going to be in for 2 podcast shows and 2 radio shows.
Making the big bucks now.
Exactly.
You're getting paid?
Yeah, he didn't tell you? No. Okay.
You'll get the tip later.
Oh, that's what she said.
Freezing.
Our first radio show that we recorded aired last week. We've had a great response from that. And in that radio show, I want to clarify something. We were talking about Ingersoll Lockwood website, and we'll be talking about that here in just a few moments. But when we were talking about it, there was some initials, NCSWIC. And at first, I thought that was a government thing. No, it is not. Do you want to tell the audience what it is?
I believe I read it last week.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay.
I'm not sure about anything.
Well, what I told the audience was that it was the National Council for Statewide and Operable Coordinations, which basically deals with cyber defense and stuff like that. I have since learned that NCSWIC stands for Nothing Can Stop What Is Coming.
I don't think I read it in that terms, but I do believe I said it.
Okay. Really? And last week's show?
Reading their website.
Okay. Oh, okay. But did you say it on the radio show last week that we recorded?
We'll have to listen
again. That wire. Yeah. Just say it again, man.
Again.
Oh, loving this. We're going to start out with some listener email just as soon as Rebecca sits back down and picks her email up. Again, we are live on Zoom. We're live on TikTok.
Oh, we lost connection on everything. Why does my internet keep going out?
I have no clue.
Technology.
Well, we lost. We're still recording. This is still going to be up.
All right.
So you can log back in there if you want to. And do you want me to read the first email while you're figuring that out?
So do you want me to read who it's from?
Yes.
Okay, so this is from Nathan98, and it says, "Hello, Here to Chew Bubblegum. I recently came across this quote and wanted to write in and share it with you guys and lovers of ear candy everywhere. So here's the quote, and it goes, remember that stress doesn't come from what's going on in your life. It comes from your thoughts about what's going on in your life." And that's by Andrew Bernstein.
That is a very good email, very good quote. Thank you very much, Nathan. What's your thoughts on that, Dirty Dan?
I think you just shouldn't think about stress at all, period.
Well, yeah, but that's easier said than done in some cases.
But if you think about it, you put it out there, it's going to happen.
Well, yeah, true. What about you? What's your thoughts on that?
I think that it's important to just let things happen and let things flow through you. When you try and harness onto those energies and you try and control those emotions and you try and suppress it, that's when shit gets worse and goes sideways.
I agree.
She's right.
I agree. Let's see, you've got the next one, don't you?
Yep, we got Curtis from Missouri. Hey, Goose. Well, it looks like Jeff Bezos' dick ship made it into space. What's your thoughts?
Did you say dick shit?
I did say dick ship with a P.
Sorry.
I know where your mind's at. What's your thoughts? Do you think this will become a new form of travel that companies can make money at? I'll listen for your answer. Roswell.
Well, yeah. The only thing, and we talked about this a little bit last night, the only thing that I like is that Wally Funk finally got to go into outer space. You know, a lady that has been instrumental in aircraft testing. She worked at NASA, you know, and I think it's great. You know, her at 82 years young got to go into outer space. Now, and Curtis is right. The ship definitely did look like a dick.
Yes,
So-
and if anybody pays attention to Joe Rogan, he put a fantastic post up on Instagram the other day about the picture of the moon. It says if you look carefully, you can see the dark spot where Jeff Bezos' dick ship's going to land.
I have so many questions.
But before we move on, Friday, the FAA changed the flight rules, and now Bezos and Branson are no longer astronauts. They did not hit the...
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. So they held the record for 18 hours.
So they needed to go just a little bit higher.
Significantly higher with much more training and certifications. So it's going to be a little while.
Do you think you'll go back and try it again?
Oh, I'm sure. And, I mean, it'd be cool to see the youngest and the oldest person in space back there. So hopefully they hurry up before it's too late.
What about you? What's your thoughts on it?
Dick ship.
I just don't see the point.
Well,
Like you didn't go and you like went up and then you went back down. Like what was the point?
That 3.5 minutes of weightlessness is just out of this world.
Well,
Can't you get that in a simulation on here somewhere?
Well,
they have that?
Well, yeah, they do. I mean,
he's got enough money to fucking build one anyway. Like
well, think about think about how much money he wasted by doing that.
I mean, to be fair, he could have more money, but the youngest astronaut told him he will never spend a penny on Amazon to his face.
Well,
So-
I mean, you know, I do love the fact that Wally did get to go. You know, that and you could tell by her speech and emotions that meant a lot to her.
So we had someone comment, and Diana said it was like pissing in the snow to leave your mark.
Exactly.
Well, if you do it in Antarctica, it'll be there a while.
True.
Checkmate.
But, you know, I mean, I think he did waste a lot of money, but, you know, hey, it's his.
Is it really a waste if it's for research and development?
What did they research? They
Yeah.
didn't go anywhere.
What did they research? What did they develop?
They developed a killer phallic-shaped rocket ship.
Oh, my gosh.
And they researched, upper limits of easy consumer travel.
Isn't that what NASA's for?
Didn't we already have that
Yeah,
before?
but NASA's private sector, quote unquote. This is actually a public branch. Yeah, I mean, if you can afford it, then it's public. But
I don't know. Mary from Tennessee writes, love the show. I'm a new listener, and this is my first time writing in. I've been researching the effects of frequencies on the human body and made this discovery I would like to share with you. Pay attention to whom your energy increases and decreases around. That's the universe giving you a hint on who you should stay away from or stay around. I never thought about this, but I do agree, and I get it now. You need to do more segments on frequencies. And it's funny that she wrote that in because actually in a couple of weeks I do have that down to go over some frequencies on the human body and so forth.
it's not just frequencies for the human body. If you see this, I've started this defining spheres and frequencies and relations.
So Nikola Tesla, one of his famous quotes, and it's actually on the map, is that if you want to understand the keys to the universe, you have to think in terms of energy, frequencies, and vibrations. Everything has a frequency. Everything has a vibration. I want in on that call.
Sounds good.
We'll pencil you in.
Sounds good. And if anybody's listening right now on Zoom or TikTok, if they do want to be part of the discussion right now, all you've got to do is call 606-373-3396, and you will be live on the air on the show. Again, that's 606-373-3396. I think you've got the next email, don't you?
Yes, this one's written in by Starman. Hello, Goose and Dirty Dan. This happened a few weeks back, but I'm only now just seeing it. I was trying to photograph the Milky Way from a yard when, in 4 frames, I captured a UAP. If this is real, I got a pretty high resolution close up. Devil's advocate, it could be a drone. Validation would be nice, I suppose. Do you think the government will ever come clean? Roswell.
No, they won't come clean. And Starman, thank you for writing in. I wish you had sent the actual picture that you captured in the email.
Pics or it didn't happen.
If you're listening, like he said, pics or it did not happen. Rebecca, I'll let you go next.
To respond to that email or read the next one?
Either one.
I just want to add my 2 cents in there. That like any sort of like alien anything is not going to be broadcasted. Like whatever they're broadcasting to you is bullshit. That's my 2 cents. They're not going to. They're going to come and they're going to come. They're already here. They've been here forever. But it's going to be privately. It's going to be to people that are willing and open to receive their help and their message. It's not going to be to an entire fucking world of a hostile population. It's not going to happen. All right, next email is 859 area code. Warn Ned, tell him to beware of the stinky Twinkie from 2034. It's all up to Ned to save the human race. Message sent from 2034. Did you guys pick that one for me to read on purpose?
No. I just randomly went down and just wrote them down. We will warn Ned, and we do have a broad audience, a very broad, and we love our listeners. Some of them are time travelers and they like junk food. So hey, it is what it is.
Whatever makes them happy, whatever blows their dress up.
There you go.
Say hi.
Who am I saying hi to?
Just wave. This is on you right now.
Yeah, just say hi, man.
Oh, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because I love you. That's what Goose wanted. He said that I had to do that.
Yep. Go ahead with your next email.
Addicted to Ear Candy wrote in.
I can't hear you because you've got the papers up over your face.
You can't see me? Hey, Here to Chew Bubblegum. Great shows. You guys haven't missed a beat. Keep searching for the truth. It's out there, and someday you will find it. Just use caution and be really careful because once the top is removed, it can't be put back on. Roswell.
And we've got emails like that before, and thank you very much for writing in. It is what it is.
And, it's thank you for your support. Thank you for your caution. Thank you for your worry. We will keep searching. And I'm a bull in a china shop, so don't worry.
What do you think about that? I know that you've been censored some on TikTok.
Some.
Well, I'm playing devil's advocate.
We're currently taking bets to see how long this live is going to last because the other one went down in under 8 minutes.
Well, I would say once we start talking about Ingersoll Lockwood, it's going to go down pretty quick.
Well, I mean, her lives have a habit of going down the moment my face comes into that picture, and if it's on me, we have our own countdown timer, Ingersoll.
So they just don't like you.
I was the OG canceller.
We can put it on Goose for a little
I was.
bit.
No, you don't have to do that.
I was removed from that app.
There we go.
Oh, well, see, now she put it on me. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
Well, we can't have it go down. We're trying to
sharing
promote Here to
is
Chew Bubblegum.
caring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We got to go around the room.
Thank you, guys. But
next one's you, buddy.
Yeah. Reed says the Ingersoll Lockwood website is changing daily. Have you been to it in a while? If not, be sure to check it out. Hidden messages, strange links. It has it all. Mind blown. Yes, I have. We'll be talking about that coming up in segment 1, and some pretty fascinating stuff. I don't think it's a game. I don't think it's a LARP, live role play action, whatever it stands for. No, I do not think so. What's your thoughts on it? And not to go in depth about it, but
because we won't in a little bit.
Yeah.
Usually, Usually every other day is a visit to it to see what I can get in trouble with. I agree with you. I don't think it's a live action role play, but I'm not quite sure what it is yet.
What about you, Rebecca? What do you think?
I think it's just another piece of the puzzle.
You said we should try to call him right now? Okay, we can try to call him right now.
Who are we calling?
Ingersoll Lockwood.
Who said that?
You did.
You have reached the voicemail of Cyber Defense Media Group. Please leave a message after the tone. Thank you for calling.
Hello, this is Goose from Here to Chew Bubblegum. I'm here with DirtyDan, and we do a podcast called Here to Chew Bubblegum. I have emailed you. DirtyDan also emailed you. We would like an interview with a representative from your company. If you can please call us back at area code 606-373-3396 or email us back, Goose at HereToChewBubblegum.com. DirtyDan at HereToChewBubblegum.com. We would really appreciate it.
And that includes the janitorial staff. I would love to know how your floors are swept.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and please get in touch with us. Now, you look like lost, right?
That was not in the notes.
No, it wasn't. That was what we call a spontaneous show moment.
Oh.
So
my life, then. That's what we're dealing with here.
You know, we've been calling Ingersoll Lockwood like that for months. And you can call during the week at different times. You get the same recording. If you press any buttons to try to get somebody else, you do not get anybody else.
Nope. You just could put on another list.
Definitely.
So this is why I didn't read the intro or say the intro that way. This is going to be special just for a repeat write-in for me.
Oh, okay.
Dixon09 reads, "Greetings. I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. Love the new opening."
See, man, you just messed it up, though. You said, "I have here."
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. I'm sorry. I'm excited for my listeners.
All right.
He doesn't know how to read.
Okay.
I got a third grade education.
You got to give him the pictures to follow
Got
along.
you.
I need Braille. Let's see. Have you heard about the new Lonnie Zamora UFO case? It happened April 24th, 1964. Lonnie was a police officer from New Mexico and a very credible witness. I won't give any more details, but I think it will be a good fit for the next The Truth Is Out There installment. Roswell, my friends.
I've heard of that a long time ago. I would have to go back and refresh my memory. Dixon09 writes in a whole lot. He's a loyal listener and fan of the show. We will definitely check that out and have that on the next Truth Is Out There series.
And Dixon, I'm all out of bubblegum.
Comedian and friend of the show, Eli Griffith, joined us in episode 48 of Here to Chew Bubblegum.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick gas, and I am all out of bubblegum.
Bam.
That's all right. I'll kick ass.
And
I'll chew bubblegum. I'll find some somewhere. I'll go down to Speedway.
Okay. And we've got special guest Eli Griffith in the studio. Man, I am tired just watching you dance around during the opening intro there.
I'm a morning person, dude. Like there's something wrong with my brain. I've been getting up early for many years now. So it's just, my brain is fucked.
So you're an early bird and you eat worms?
Yes.
Okay.
I wonder how worms taste. I bet they're like...
The early bird may get the worm, but the late worm gets to live.
Oh, I like that. I wonder how worms taste, though. I bet it's a little bit salty. They seem like they'd be a little bit salty.
It tastes like chicken.
It does not taste like chicken.
No, it doesn't.
Have y'all ate worms?
You ain't never grabbed a handful of night crawls and taken a bite out of them?
I'm curious now, though. Like, I don't want to do a handful, but I do one little string of spaghetti.
You ain't gonna taste it.
You would taste it, yeah. I would take I'd take like half a bite, like half a worm.
You can just do like one worm. Like just go outside and just dig one out real quick.
Yeah, we can actually when we take a break, we can go out and get a worm, and we could have you eat it.
I would need to be. There had to be money involved for me to eat a worm, but there is a price that I will eat a worm.
I think I have a shiny, crisp dollar bill in my wallet.
It would be much more than a dollar bill. Probably do $50. That would be like my end dollar
eat a worm.
Yes, $50.
There might be a $5 bill.
Now $50 for half a worm, $100 for a whole worm.
No.
Listen, I got a printer here that says you'll eat 1,000 worms then.
Hey, That's one. Like instead of like going to college and doing all this fancy shit in my life, I could have learned to print money.
Yeah,
that would have been the right way to go about it.
Yeah, definitely.
We got offers coming in for Venmo and PayPal, Cash App. Like, what do you want?
Hey, you may be eating a worm before the end of the show.
Oh, I forgot that we're live on that thing.
Yes, we are.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Damn, I should have put a higher dollar on that then.
Oh, no.
Listen. Don't whore yourself out for worm eating on our podcast. All right.
If Dirty Dan, if he wants to eat worm, let's let him eat a worm.
I'm okay with him eating a worm if he wants to eat the worm. It's him whoring himself out to get to eat the worm is.
I'm okay. $200.
No. You
I'll do it.
All right, now he's getting to escort level.
You have already said 50.
50 for half.
50 for half. How's your guys' week been so far?
We got a ton of people dropping money for worm eating.
All I can think about is when they're going for the beer fest team. And it's, the nickel to touch your toes, dime to touch my toes, quarter to watch me touch your toes.
God, I love Broken Lizard. Them guys make some great movies, man.
Oh, God. Why did we start this way?
I didn't think that we would be talking about worm
Are we
eating.
rinsing the worm off first? Or
Yes,
is it,
hell yeah.
Dirt and all?
Hell yeah.
No.
If you rinse the worm, you're only getting $1.
I need $1.50.
You know what? We'll let you rinse it in the river.
I mean, I'd just rather eat the worm.
I mean, you're really missing out if you rinse all of its goodies off of it.
That river will give it all types of flavor. That's like teriyaki sauce. I didn't think that I was going to be eating a worm this morning, but that looks like what we're going to do.
It sounds like it's what we're going to do.
Well, after an email we're going to read, it might sound like a better alternative.
We eat every day.
I just realized too, before we start on the email, I have I don't know what the hell I have done. I've either lost a sheet or printed the wrong thing off. How many pages is your email this week, Dirty Dan?
4, sir. Okay. I got 4.
Okay, yeah, I must be missing 2 pages.
Damn it, Goose.
Yeah, I had one job. One
damn job.
Let's see. Dirty Dan, if you want to start out with email, please, by all means.
Well, it's funny you say that, Goose, because I just looked. I only have page 3 out of 4 and 2 and 1. I'm missing the last one.
Damn it, Dirty Dan.
I have no emails, so.
That's because you weren't told to read any this week.
See, me and Rebecca are doing our job.
She can read mine. So there were 4 pages.
I
never got emailed shit.
You never got
I
emailed
printed
the emails?
your format out for you and gave it to you last night. I hand delivered it.
There are no emails. There are no emails on this file.
That's because it's a separate attachment.
How about, let's just, I know, Dirty Dan, you got one email. Let's just read that one email, and that'll be it for this week. We'll save everything out. I'll make sure Rebecca gets copies, and because I don't know what the hell is going on here. I've evidently printed the wrong thing. Or no, wait. Okay, I have got it.
We can't do that because there's so many emails pertaining to this week.
We can always do that.
Just want to let you know, we got a GoFundMe started for the worm.
Hey, okay. Damn, I might be eating a worm. If the price is right, man, like I'm not even fucking around. Like I will eat a worm if the price is right.
Okay.
Well, let's see where that GoFundMe gets. Wait, what's the GoFundMe set on?
$50.
No, $50 is half a worm.
No, well, hey, we will watch you eat half a worm.
Has to be a small worm for $50 though.
Oh no, that's what she said. No.
How about this? How about we get something started for a GoFundMe and we figure out what we're going to do with the GoFundMe account. But for every $100 mark that you hit, you have to eat a worm.
Oh, I love that idea.
Shit.
I love that idea.
Oh,
and then we could
shit.
actually have him come back on the show and eat the worms.
And that's the only way he gets the money is by
Yes.
showing him eating the worm.
Yes.
Oh, man.
I love that idea.
Or we could even like donate it to like charity or like
Fuck
a
charity.
like a cause.
Fuck charity. If I'm eating worms, I'm getting all that money. Fuck GoFund Judy's place. Who cares?
You know, there's dying
Okay,
kids at
then.
St. Jude's right now.
I don't give a fuck. I'm eating worms.
Well, I mean, they're going to be good.
Eli
I
wants
have to
all
live
the
the rest.
proceeds.
I have to live the rest of my life with that. Okay, them kids probably only got like 6 months. Like they don't have to worry about that. Freaking, I ain't gonna give them the money. I'm broke.
Doesn't have to be that charity, bro. We were just.
Wow,
I'm just reading
he
comments.
went there.
To everybody
Hey.
that's about to get mad, I'm just playing around.
Hey,
oh my god.
He works in a profession where he has to watch his language daily. So he told me before we started he was really going to cut loose on this format.
I was hoping so, and that's why he was like, when we started, he was like, "Dude, do I have to?" I'm like, "Let it fucking fly."
Yep. I see. This is what I
Now,
like.
so picture this: there's $1,000 raised. That's 10 worms automatically. You have to come back and eat 10 worms.
Man, 10 worms for $1,000 though. That's
Do you want garlic bread and sauce with your worm spaghetti? Or
No,
are you just gonna eat them raw?
no. Worms and dirt.
Can I have some type of condiment?
You can have a drink of water.
No,
You get water.
Let's
what?
hear his condiment. Let's hear his condiment request.
Trying to think. What would taste? Barbecue sauce?
Mayonnaise.
No. Ugh. I just rather eat plain worms.
I'm going to tell you, what would go.
You want some like garlic aioli sauce?
What the hell's that? Y'all are fancy people out there in Lexington and shit like that. What's that? Chipotle? I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Sir,
we have ranch and ketchup.
Sir,
here.
I work in one of the
in
most
Kentucky.
rampant methamphetamine areas. We're not bougie out here.
Okay.
Hey, that's a bougie ass sauce, whatever y'all just mentioned there. I don't know how to spell that.
I have got it. If you eat, if we raise $1,000, you eat 10 worms, I've got something that will go along great and complement it.
What is that?
Cat shit.
No, what the fuck? No. No. Hey, 10 worms for $1,000, man. That sounded
He
pretty
said no
good.
water and dirt, straight up, and a tequila worm.
No,
No
tequila worm.
tequila worms. No.
The last
No
one could be
tequila
a
worms.
tequila worm, so that way I black out and forget it all.
The last one's got to be the tequila worm.
Yeah, see, I can black out and just forget it all.
I would like to say that's not fair because that will happen.
All right, then let's say if he pukes, then he only gets half the money and the other half goes to charity.
No, if he pukes, he gets nothing. He spills his guts. He spills his guts to charity.
Yeah, I don't want him in the studio puking all over the equipment and gear.
And do it outside.
That's why I said we got to record outside.
Yeah, we'll do it outside, and it'll look totally normal to the other activities that happen in this recording place. Like seeing a dude outside throwing up, eating worms, that's normal around here. That's that's normal. That's what they do.
That's just Jed. He's
we've
over there.
also had he can write it off on his taxes. You gotta eat so straight up out of the ground, dirt and water and all. Like that's what you gotta do.
Can we find 10 worms that way?
Oh, I will go buy 10 worms.
Oh God.
Oh no, we're
They gotta be the night crawler.
Oh
yeah.
yes.
I was gonna say we're gonna pick him some good old night crawlers.
Yep, the night
Well,
crawlers.
see, we need to figure out the type of worm.
Night crawler.
Night crawler.
Man, they have
Night
some.
crawlers.
They have some worms that are like flavored. Like you can at the science center.
Yeah,
they
but-
got shit like.
yeah,
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
How the fuck do you know that there are flavored worms?
At the science center, they have flavored crickets, flavored scorpions, flavored worms. There's sour cream and onion, cheddar cheese.
But these worms cannot be gummy worms.
No, they're not gummy worms. This is like the real deal shit, man.
They were once, in fact, living creatures that were now dead and injected with flavors from Pringles. You're not putting your hand in the can, so you're going to dig in the dirt and you're going to eat it.
This is a small, tiny cardboard box that they come in, sir.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Sorry.
That's an underrated album, I must say. That Jay-Z and Linkin Park done. That's a great
Yes.
album.
Oh God, yes.
But back to the worms. $1,000 for 10
We
worms.
could have a
That might be pretty good.
a Purdue Bug Bowl annually.
What the hell's that? Purdue.
Eli's got worms.
What's a Purdue?
We're just coming up with shit.
Yeah,
That sounds pretty
Yes,
good.
yes, it does.
Purdue. I don't know what Purdue is, but that sounds.
It's a
pretty
meat
good.
company.
Ugh. That makes it sound nasty now. I thought it was like going to be some type of dessert.
First place, hold on, you were first
Purdue.
place in a cricket spitting competition back in elementary school?
It's not Dirty Dan's meat that can't be beat.
Hey, listen, I got the trophy and everything. But I have ate crickets before. I've ate crickets. I've ate snake, octopus, alligator. I've ate a lot of weird stuff in my life. My ex is, never mind.
Right. Oh, you don't want to go there. You're afraid your wife's going to listen.
I'm talking about nasty stuff anyway.
Yeah. I got it. Dirty Dan, do you want to start out with email? Rebecca, do you have any emails in front of you?
No.
Okay.
No, I got nothing. But Eli, send me your email and we're going to get this bug thing fucking rolling.
I got you. 10 worms for $1,000, man. Like, that's not sounding bad.
No.
$1,000, man, I could use that
I have no
$1,000.
emails. All Dirty Dan sent me
I think you can do it.
the opening and all of the fucking information that you guys talk about at the end.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay.
Hey, that's called the format.
Dirty Dan, just read yours, brother, and we'll save the rest for next week. So, and we'll add some with that.
We can just.
That's disappointing, Goose. That's disappointing.
I have been told that before, that I'm Mr. Disappointment. So
we can just come up with emails. Like 69 Just Blaze 420 says, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Worm Eater 104 says,
Eli, are you aware of who Ballin' Cox is?
No, but that sounds like a great name.
Then you just sit there and hold on to your britches, because you're not going to have to make up any emails after this.
Wait, what'd you say? Ballin' Cox? Bowling Cox?
Yes.
We say Bolin because the first time he wrote in, he spelled the name Bolin, which to me would be Bolin.
Yeah.
But it has since changed slightly to emulate Ballin, and the last name is Cox, C-O-X.
Ballin'. That's very clever.
I just want to preface that for you because it'll make a whole lot of sense when I get to the bottom of this email. Dear Dirty Dan, so glad to hear that you had an email because I've been dying to write in and ask something personal. First, let me say that I don't mind if you mention this and discuss on the show. In fact, even though this topic is a little sensitive for me, if I thought for 1 second that this issue could help at least one other person in the world, I would encourage you to do so. It all started when I was born. It wasn't until I was around 15 or 16 years old that I knew I was different than my peers. Up until then, I just thought everyone was the way I was. You see, Dirty Dan, I was born with a deformity. To my knowledge, the medical community still don't have a scientific term for my condition. Dirty Dan, I was born with one oversized testicle where my cock should be, and I have two smaller than normal cocks where my balls should be. When I first realized I was different was when I saw another man's cock and balls. No, I'm not gay. Jerry Wayne, my neighbor, fell off his mule one day while we was out on the trail, and it spooked my horse pretty good. Accidentally, my horse bucked and kicked Jerry Wayne right square in his genital area. Blood was everywhere. He fought me, but I was able to get Jerry Wayne's britches down to try and stop the bleeding. To my surprise, he had a near 8-inch penis where my one oversized ball was. And most shockingly, the man had two testicles where my smaller than normal cocks were. Now, as astonished as I was at the sight, the hoof of my horse had cut the tip of Jerry Wayne's cock almost clean off. If it wasn't for my wife, Sally Jean Sue, jumping out of the wagon and applying pressure, I think Jerry Wayne might have lost feeling in his head. Turns out he was fine, and Sally Jean Sue milked that man right back to 100% health. Even to this day, he tells me his cock has never felt so strong. Needless to say, it was a real eye-opener when I found out everyone didn't have a ball and two cocks. I went through some dark days in the beginning and went as far as to legally change my name. I thought maybe if there was someone else out there like me, it might help them confide in me. So far, I haven't had any luck. So today I'm writing to you and Here to Chew Bubblegum asking for help. Not for me, though. Nope. I'm writing this letter because little Bobby Ray Stevenson Dave, who was born with no taint, is getting to that age where he's becoming self-conscious, both of himself and about his body. He thinks because he doesn't have a taint, no one's going to want to lick his asshole. So, Eli, what advice, if any, could you guys pass along? Could there be any connection in our deformities as it pertains to the extraterrestrial? You and the show are our last hope, Dirty Dan. P.S. Yes, my testicle rests in a gigantic scrotum.
Them dudes need to go into porn right away. Like that God blessed them. That's what they were put on this earth to do. Go into porn. Yeah. If I'm scrolling through like the hub, and there's a video of a ball and two cocks, hell yeah, I'm clicking on that. I want to see that.
One big ball, like just imagine like a small kettle ball and just two tiny little candy cocks.
I want to see it. I want to see this. Like, I will watch that video. I will give it a thumbs up.
Will you watch that video while you're eating worms?
I might be doing some other stuff too if the video's good enough. I mean, like I might be eating worms while tugging on my worm. I don't know. We'll see. That these guys might have a future. Who knows?
They could. Who
knows? That's what I think they should do.
What would what would be a good name for them if they start in that business?
Oh yeah, Ball and Cocks. He's already got it. I mean, perfect. The dude already has a porn name. His email address.
Ball and Cocks.
Yes, that's the porn name right there.
Don't forget, you can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396. That's 606-373-3396. Or you can email. You can email me, Goose, at HereToChewBubblegum.com, DirtyDan at HereToChewBubblegum.com, or Rebecca at HereToChewBubblegum.com. Have a good week. Help someone if you can. And as always, pay it forward. Until next time, this is Goose reminding you, damaged people are dangerous. They know they can survive. Have a good week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. Tune in next time as we dive deeper into things the government doesn't want us to know.